episode 104, and this week we're talking about personas.
Latest Joomla news, design tips, marketing ideas, and interviews with experts in the industry.
Beginner or professional, this podcast is for Joomla enthusiasts.
Welcome to the Joomla Beat podcast with your host, Peter Buey.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Joomla Beat podcast, the podcast where Martina and I just sit back and talk about stuff.
Oh, that's a good description.
Yeah, stuff. No, we talk about everything around designing, developing, managing, and marketing websites, particularly around the content management system Joomla. That's what we talk about. That's what we yabber on about for about half an hour. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good description. Okay, so first off, this episode we're talking about personas, the customers or the idea of... What's the best way to describe this?
The profiles and the archetypes of who are using your website.
There we go. Perfect description. So we're going to be talking about that and why it's important and how this relates to the previous 3 episodes of the podcast, episode 101, 102, and 103, where we talk about sales funnels, and conversion rate optimization. So we get to learn exactly how and why personas are so important for all of them. But before we get into that, a little bit of Joomla news and a couple of updates.
Looking for more Joomla tips and industry news? Joomla.at. Web hosting by SiteGround.
All right, so first off, big security updates for Joomla at the moment. So if you're listening to this around the release date, around December 2015, there are a couple of really critical releases that need to be updated on your Joomla site. That is Joomla 3.4.5 and Joomla 3.4.6. So both of those came out, and you need to update your Joomla sites as soon as possible. Now, one of the updates also affects all Joomla 1.5 websites and also Joomla 2.5 websites. There's a session vulnerability that you need to patch, and there's some manual patching you need to do. So make sure you jump onto the joomla.org website and read the release in regards to this, so you know how to patch your website and get them up to date and nice and secure. Really important that you do this one. It basically allows a hacker to jump in, take control of your site. Yeah, look, fortunately for us, we've been maintaining and patching all of our sites pretty regularly, so nothing's happened on our end, and we've been monitoring quite closely.
You've been onto it.
Yes. Takes a lot of time, but it's well worth it. In other news, I also got to go to the Joomla World Conference in Bangalore. That was a lot of fun. Yay. Unfortunately, I was out of it for a couple of weeks afterwards. I was coughing, lost my voice a little bit.
Yeah, you did have a really bad cough.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. Was it the travel, the airplane stuff, or the pollution in general? I don't know. Whatever it was, I was a little bit worn down. But
you brought back so many yummy cakes and treats.
Lots of stuff.
You have to go back.
Yes. and bring back more things. Hopefully we can find where we can get all that food here locally. Yeah, who knows. Anyway, there's all of the Joomla World Conference video presentations have been placed online now. So you can get to that via the Joomla YouTube account, and you can watch all the presentations, all the learnings, and everything that everyone shared at that conference all on YouTube. So you can relive it all again.
I think you said it was one of the best ones, didn't you?
I thought this was the best conference that I had been to, the best global conference. So I've been to J & Beyond in Frankfurt. I went to Boston for the Joomla World Conference. I went to Cancun for the Joomla World Conference. And this Bangalore one, I think, had to be the best.
What made it stand out?
It was mostly the community, the huge local community in India, the local countries as well, from Bangladesh, Vietnam, Malaysia, and so forth. All the little communities there, they're all very positive. They're all very energetic, and all really want to work together and help each other really strive and thrive in the Joomla space. So it's completely different and compared to how it was in the Americas or in Europe.
So it was really the people that made this event.
Yeah, definitely the people. The presentations and all that were like fantastic as well. The venue was fantastic. The organisers have got this Joomla World Conference down to a perfect formula now as well, so it went so smoothly. Food was fantastic as well. But yeah, it was mostly the people and the communities around Southeast Asia and Asia in general that really made this conference, I think.
Awesome.
I'll share some photos and everything that I have captured there at the conference. Also managed to do a couple of interviews as well. So I managed to get Hung from Joomla Art, Andy Miller from Rocket Theme. I'm planning an interview with Johan Jensen from Joomla Tools as well. And who else did I pick up? A couple of more. I can't even remember now. I have to go back through my archives and find all of those interviews and start slicing them up and putting them up over the holiday break for everyone.
Oh, so they're coming up soon.
Yes, they're all coming up very soon. But like I said, just stay tuned on the Joomla Beat Google Plus page and Facebook page, and I guess on the Twitter as well, and you'll see all of the bits and pieces come out as I release all those episodes and interviews that I did there. Okay, let's get on to our main topic tonight, and that is all around personas.
Another awesome tip from Peter.
All right, so the main topic, personas. What are they exactly, Martina? We've been dabbling around and playing around with personas for quite a while now, but it's always, not always, but sometimes still a new concept to a lot of our clients when we try and explain to them why we're doing this.
So really we're creating a user experience.
Yeah.
So when we get together with clients, some of them don't really understand the purpose.
I have no idea.
For creating personas. And
we say user experience and personas, and they just go,
But and it is still a relatively new concept. I think large agencies have been doing this for quite a while now, but now it's kind of filtering down.
Yeah, and I think here in Australia we're a little bit behind compared to other parts of the world in regards to user experience.
But the reason why we go through user experiences and we create personas is so that websites become more user-centric and customer-focused. So, for example, say if there's a client that has a website, I mean, nobody just wants to know about their business. It's more about what can I get out of this website? What are the users' aims? Why are they visiting the website, and how can the client provide the best experience for this user to ensure that they stay on the site, they keep coming back, and they have fulfilled their purpose for visiting the website.
Yeah, so that's building the whole user experience around the particular personas that we may have. So the persona, I guess we can define it as a customer profile.
Yeah, a user profile. So profiles are an archetype of the kind of person that would use your website.
It's more of a representation, doesn't have to be real, but probably should be as close to a good, realistic representation as possible.
That's right. So when you map out user personas, you can get pretty detailed actually. So we need to know what their age range is, whether they're male or female, sometimes their occupation, sometimes how much money they earn, their motivations, their likes and their dislikes. And this all creates a unique character.
Yeah, and paints a picture for anyone that is working on the website, whether it's a content writer, designer, developer, whatever it is. It paints the picture so they know exactly who they're writing or designing for.
That's right. So obviously if you're designing a children's website, then the language would be very different to an adult website.
Yeah. And if a developer doesn't realize this, the developer might just get a specification to build and it says build a registration form, whatever. And they'll just go, all right, just minimal registration, no descriptor text or anything like that. and it doesn't quite suit the audience.
Well, that's right. And I think mapping out these personas and their journeys actually brings the team together to focus on that one goal, rather than the designer just going off and designing something that they like and the developer going off on their own tangent, and also the client that just wants to really sell their product and sell their business, but not really communicate properly to their audience.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we've talked about what a persona is and some of the characteristics around a persona. So I guess we should explain to users why and how it actually helps each team member in a web design or web development team, or even a mobile app or an application development team, how personas help each one of those. So starting with the designer, Martina, so it defines exactly who the audience is. So the designer is creating the correct design for that particular user.
So this comes even before wireframes, and obviously the wireframes come before the design. But mapping out a persona and their user journey, it's very in-depth, because it's not like you're just sort of going off and putting some layouts together and then designing from these wireframe layouts. It's actually defining what sort of modules are going to be on the website, where they're going to be placed, which personas are more important than others.
Okay, so let's use an example of one of our clients, Ella's List. Ella's List is a directory of events and businesses, all relating around businesses for mums. So,
well, they're events for kids.
Events for kids, but the website's for mums.
That's right. So that's right. So the user personas wouldn't be children; they're actually mothers. And see, if we hadn't discussed this, then the designer might have designed the site for children. But because we had this meeting and we created these personas, we were able to design for the personas. So, for example, we mapped out the number of personas that were to use the website. I can't remember how many
there were.
I think there were at least four. Yeah. But, for example, you wouldn't just have a mum. You would have, what we created was a first-time mother.
Yep.
So she'd be between the ages of maybe 25 to 35. And she had certain characteristics and certain behaviours.
Yep, like she was afraid she was going to kill her child.
That's right.
Within the first few months. She was isolated and a whole bunch of things. So
that's right. And actually, she was the biggest spender. The first-time mum is just wants the best for her baby and is just buying up everything.
Yep, exactly. And then another persona was the second-time mum, or the second child's come along, slightly older, not as afraid to kill their child this time round.
But also has more connections and more of a clue as to what to do and where to take the kids. And
a common thing was they're all very time poor. They just want to know, just give me some ideas. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah. So that's the idea. They're the personas.
So there were about 3 mums that we mapped out that we could speak to and design for and lay the website out for. But then also there was the other side of the coin, where the actual website sells advertising to event companies and businesses.
Yeah,
that's right.
So the website needs to make money.
So the website also had to communicate this to those advertisers.
Yes, exactly. And in regards to building all those personas, the developer and designers, well, our team could actually work out how we're supposed to build things. We did a one-page layout work better for a particular persona, or a list or category style layout worked better for a particular other type of persona. So it really mapped everything out.
That's right. And we not only designed for the mothers, but then we also knew that there needed to be modules for the advertisers, and they had to be able to contact the business and also upload their own content as well. So that needed to be quite clear. And there were parts of the website that needed to speak to the advertisers, and there were other parts of the website that needed to speak to all the other personas.
Yes, exactly. So from here, I guess you could start building the customer journey, the more precise customer journey. So we should probably I don't know, a customer journey, talking about that, we could go through a whole nother episode about this. But did you want to go through like an example customer journey for a first-time mum?
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're sticking to Ella's list, then say if we take the persona of the first-time mum, so her customer journey throughout the day would start off as waking up at maybe 5 a.m. Poor thing.
Sleep deprived.
Yeah, sleep deprived. Baby's screaming. She gets up. Time to feed the baby. And then maybe around 6 o'clock, while she's feeding the baby and the baby's settled, she's able to scroll through her phone and see what's happening, just to kind of, I guess, connect with the outside world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so as she's scrolling, she's already friends with Ella's List. One of her friends who already has kids has told her about the website and how great it is. So she's already used to looking through the website.
Yep.
So she sees a link from the Facebook Ella's List about events that are on that day.
And she checks out the website.
Yep, she checks out the website because she can't handle another day at home with the baby. She feels like she really needs to get out, and that's her motivation. This is where we come to personas' motivations. So this is her core motivation is loneliness. So she needs to get out of the house and connect with other people and other mothers. So her motivation for this day is to connect and also to find perhaps somebody that understands what she's going through as a first-time mom.
Yes, exactly. So she's scrolling around on Facebook. She finds Ella's List. She potentially finds an event or something, a mother's group that she might want to go to in the morning. And then she puts a baby to bed. Back to sleep, and then she tries to get some sleep before waking up.
Before heading out to this event,
and then her partner may wake her up again. The partner runs off to work or something, and the mother wakes up a little bit later when the baby starts screaming again.
But she has set an alarm for this event that's on later that day. And
she prepares and goes to the event.
That's right. She goes to the event, meets up with other mums, has a great time at the event, comes
They might
home.
talk about Ella's List while they're there.
That's right. They could.
How do you know about this? Oh, I found it on Ella's List. Oh, my God. Oh, Ella's List is great. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that could happen. Yep. And then they come home.
That's right. They come home. She puts the baby to bed for another nap. And then she goes online with the intention of she had such a good time, she wants to see what other events are on, and perhaps she even writes a review about the event that she went to that morning.
Fantastic. And that's a basic customer journey and how the users, their day interacts with the website and the brand in general.
Actually, another really good example of this was what we were talking about the other day, Peter, with that department store brand that we have here in Australia called Maya, and a fashion magazine. So do you remember the story?
Yeah, so basically they had content created from an event that happened. I can't remember what it was. It
was like a red carpet event.
Yeah,
where
an awards dinner or something. I can't remember what it was. But whatever it was, the outfits that the women were wearing were from the particular department store. So everything that they had there was written in the blog post, and when mostly women, were reading the blog post, they were also not bombarded, but shown advertising of those particular dresses from that retailer as well.
So an example of that user journey or customer journey would be a young girl is on the bus, she's scrolling through her phone, these images come up from the award night of these gorgeous women wearing fabulous dresses, and then there's the link of the exact same dress to that department store.
Yeah, that's right. So it's the users going from one site to the actual retailer and potentially buying, maybe. I don't know.
But so they've mapped out their customer journey really well. So they know their customer. She is maybe a 25-year-old girl, catches the bus to work, has time to flip through her phone in the morning.
Very tech savvy, always on the phone.
Yep.
Not just has time, she has to have a time. So she's always connected on the phone. So having all that content produced and ready for that particular persona, so that the magazine can get advertisers on board and say, hey, we know our customer. We know that they're engaged at this time on the bus, reading our content.
This is when we're going to push it out. This is
Yep.
when we're going to push out this content, and this is how it's going to lead to sales.
Yes, yes. So knowing and understanding your persona around that, so you can create these customer journeys and sell advertising to your potential advertisers. That's the gold. That's where it all comes down to. Crazy, isn't it?
It is, and they did it in such a creative way.
And
it wasn't just like, oh, here, buy this dress. It was like, oh, look at these women that were on this red carpet event last night, which obviously the persona would have watched the night before.
Exactly, and they're all like
very subtle.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's subtle at all. It's all, what's the word? Contrived. It's all planned.
It is planned, but it's not in your face. Like, buy this dress. It's like, oh, look at this gorgeous dress that this woman was wearing last night, and here's a link to the actual dress that you can buy yourself. Yes,
it's a very good way of doing it. Very, very good way. On the flip side, though, so we've got the customer journeys, and they're helping content writers, designers, advertisers, salespeople even drive the websites based around the personas. But on the flip side, where you're looking at developers, developers are also finding personas extremely useful because from there we can actually create something called user stories and also define test-driven development. And this is the idea of, oh, great, we've got a persona, we're creating a user story now. So the user actually comes to the website, they are wanting to buy this dress, whatever it is, they need to create an account, log in, add the dress to a cart, and then check out and make a payment.
And first they need to find the dress as well.
Oh, yeah, they need to find the dress. So they have to browse, search. So that's another user story. User comes to the website, searches for the dress. But from these user stories, the developer can take them away and go, all right, cool, I need to create a search function. A search function that actually searches for these particular dresses. The content architecture person may be looking at this user story and saying, all right, we're searching by dresses, we're searching by color. Great, so now I have to create taxonomy around this. So
that's
I have to create
how are they going
colors,
to categorize
sizes, dresses, tops, bottoms, whatever it is. So it gets quite complex. And having these user stories and understanding the persona, that's where it all comes from. Developers can use it. Content architecture people can use it. It's personas, everything.
It's the beginning.
It's the beginning of everything. Yeah. I really love how I was listening to a podcast the other day from Darren Rouse, and even he uses personas in his everyday creation of content. So he's a very well-known blogger, and he's created particular personas so that when he's writing blog posts, he's writing for that exact persona because that's his target audience.
And that's the thing as well with Ella's List. She will write blog posts based on those 3 different types of women. So obviously you're going to speak differently to a first-time mother than to a mum with 4 kids.
Yeah, exactly. All of which are all time poor, though. So it's got to be really good content, real quick, easy to read, and easy to digest. Okay. So that's personas in a nutshell, touching on user stories and customer journeys as well.
I hope we've explained this well.
I really hope so too. It's sometimes a little bit of a hard topic to explain.
It's quite complex.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll put up some persona cards. Our persona card templates that we have. And we use these to help draw out or write down the characteristics.
Help define the characters.
Yeah, the demographics of particular personas when we workshop this with clients. So I think that'll be quite helpful for our listeners to
definitely
download and see how we actually do our own personas. So you can get that on the Joomla Beat website. So if you go to the show notes for this episode, joomlabe.at/ep104, and you should be taken directly to that page where you can sign up for the persona download and get a little persona kit. How cool is that?
Pretty cool.
Beat Joomla Beat.
All right, so I hope you got quite a lot out of our persona talk. It's always good talking about it and refreshing my memory of why we actually do all of this. Oh, boy. But if you have any comments or any sort of feedback, please leave them on the show notes for the podcast episode /EP104. That will take you directly to the show notes. If you love the podcast, I know you do.
I feel this one was really educational.
Yeah, intensely educational.
Yes, I know. My brain's hurting.
It is. Oh, it's probably because we haven't eaten yet either. But leave us a rating and review on the iTunes store. It always helps with the discoverability of the podcast. And also jump on the Spreaker network where we host all of our podcasts. And there you can give us a love heart, I think. I've got no idea what it is now.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, give us a little love heart.
Or a star.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a love heart.
Oh.
Give us a love heart so you can show your appreciation. And
Show us the love.
Yes. Give us a review there too. But until next time, everyone, make sure you stay tuned. I've got a lot of these episodes coming up from the Joomla World Conference and a whole lot more. A surprise one next week, actually.
Oh, a surprise.
Yes, a surprise guest. A surprise guest coming up next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But until then, make sure you keep your website safe, secure, and backed up. Okay, bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Joomla Beat podcast, bringing together the community of designers, developers, fans, and users from around the globe. Joomla Beat. Joomla Beat.at